Hello and welcome. My name is Vicki Haspels and this is the weekly forecast for week commencing May 22nd, 2023. I'm still coming to you from lovely Winton. As you can see from last week to this week, the weather has turned and winter is here. So I'm coming to you from inside the van. It's still a bit windy outside, but you can see a little bit of the outdoors and my lovely view from the jump up here at the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum in Winton. So I'm going to give you a weekly forecast, a day by day interpretation of the energies at play, and with my interpretation, inspiration and guidance using my deck, the Mythic Tarot. So let's have a look for the week ahead. Let's begin. Okay, so for Monday, May the 22nd, 2023, I'm going to choose a card, and as we do, I always pull a card out and put it back in because you never know, it might turn up again. We have the card Temperance. We had quite a strong week last week, a lot of clearing. So it's lovely that the first card of the week is Temperance. Temperance is, I feel that for Monday, that it is a time of just chilling. Not so much like putting your feet up or anything like that. It's just going about day to day, just enjoying life and just enjoying the normalness of life. Temperance is where excuse me, temperance is checks and balances. So whenever something comes up, we will balance it out a little bit with the energies. Even the universe is going to balance things out for us. We don't even have to do a great deal. We just need to be. Temperance is there to help us be. In other words, when things seem to rise up, something will come along to calm them down. So Monday is a day of just balancing ourselves out and reconnecting to who we are, and just allowing a sense of peace and calm to just permeate the day. Okay, let's put the back in. So let's have a look for shuffling the deck. Let's have a look for Tuesday, May the 23rd, 2023. Pull a card. Oh, we have Page of Swords. Appropriate since all the wind that's happening here at the moment. Page of Swords for Tuesday. Let me just tune into the energy. I just feel like that again, it's like a continuation of the Temperance card, in that the calmness, or it's almost like an enforced calmness, if you like. So no drama happening, and even if drama tries to turn up, it will just fade away. The Page of Wands when it turns up, Page of Swords when it turns up, means that any words, any expression just basically glides over. It's just like gossip, it's fairy floss. Once on the tongue, it just disappears. So it's not intended to harm or distract. So again, it's a continuation. It's like a gradual return to the ups and downs of life. However, with Temperance on the Monday and the Page of Swords on the Tuesday, it's easing back into that day-to-day life. I really feel like last week was a bit of a clearing, and now we get to just gradually return to what we consider the rest of our lives, or the rest of how we choose to move forward. So, and the Page of Swords is there to blow all of the cobwebs away, and just to identify what's important. And because it's a sword, it's about words. What are we going to listen to? We have the time and energy, because Temperance is still around. We have the time and energy to decide what we're going to grab onto and what we're going to disregard. And the Page of Swords is perfect for that. Okay, so let's have a look at Wednesday, May the 24th, 2023. Which coincidentally is the last day at the museum. We head back to Brisbane after that day. All right, so Wednesday, 24th, 2023. Seven of Pentacles. Yes, okay, so Seven of Pentacles. In this instance, the message I'm getting from that, let me just tune in for a minute. It's like back to work, back to it. However, because we are coming from a different mind space and a different heart space. Remember last week was all about the mind, psychological. Now we're coming from a more grounded, practical, but I really feel like it's a like we've had that sort of time out, a bit of a break, and now it's time to get back into it. But because the mind has shifted and our belief has, like, old beliefs are gone now, we're allowing ourselves to live those values and bring them up to the surface. The Seven of Pentacles is saying, right, what are you going to do now? What is your choices? Seven are all about choices. What do you choose and how you choose to go forward? And the Seven is presenting to us choices that align with our beliefs. So now we have a situation where it's like, well, this is how you used to do it. You did it this way. Here's another way of doing it. What would you like? You've gone through those bits and pieces there. Each choice is valid. Can I say that? There is no right or wrong here. However, you can take the experiences that have led up to this day and think, how do I want to go forward? Do I want to do how I used to do things, or would I like to try a different way? The Seven of Pentacles suggests that if you are in alignment with how you want to move forward and how you'd like to live the rest of your life in a very practical way, then the way forward, and it might be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more challenging in that how it looks to the outside world, and how, because it's a bit new or a bit different, or that you're finally being honest with how you feel about yourselves, or ourselves I should say, I'm included here, is that taking that choice of what is aligned with our beliefs and values rather than doing what we usually do, is going to take a little bit more effort. It's going to take a little bit more planning and a bit more input from us, and a little bit more like being upfront, saying, oh, this is who I am now. So, and owning that part of who we are. As I said, if you're not ready for that, at least you can recognize that it's there for you when you are ready. So if you still want to do things the old way because there's a little bit of fear there, you've recognized what is possible, and even down the track you can still make a choice because you see it. Once it's seen, once it's in the conscious, it can't be unseen. Okay, so let's have a look for Thursday, May the 24th, 2023. Back in the deck, let's choose a card. I'm doing a bit of a shuffle. Let's see what's going to happen. May the 24th, 2023. Oh, the Justice card. Look at her. She is amazing. Look how amazing she is. I want you to take in all the elements of this card. You can see the black and white floor. You can see the owl on her shoulder. See the two pillars. See the sword in her hand and the scales in her hand. And she sits tall and strong. Also the white and the grey. So that just for Thursday, if we're like following on from making those choices, it's now about, I'm very conflicted here in that the choices are going to continue with the Justice card. I just put it back on the deck. Oh, silly me. Anyway, with the Justice card, remember, never mind. I'll pop the picture up as I talk. So remember that with the two pillars, with sitting there, the conflict that I'm getting from this is that not so much that this is how we always did things. It's more so. There's a duality here. This is what the confusion is. The duality. So this is perhaps what we will struggle with the 7 from the day before. Is now we're going to face the duality of the choices. So the black and white is always about black and white. It's either this or this. That is really great for structure, but it's not great for creativity. In other words, there's no nuance permitted. However, if you're very structurally minded, then the black and white is perfect because you get to stay within your boundaries. If you are a nuanced person or a creative, or think in circles rather than straight in a linear line, then the black and white can be quite challenging. So when because the Justice card has turned up in this, and it's for all of us, it doesn't matter how you think, create, or move forward. The Justice card asks us to look and see where we are restricting ourselves, but also to how we can plan forward. This is the duality. is that fight we have. This is what I'm getting. This is the message. It's a fight we have with ourselves about creating a system or creating steps, as opposed to trying to do things as they were or as they have been. So bringing this is the duality, is bringing the creative and the structure together. The Justice card also brings ethics into the mix as well. So in other words, no cutting corners, stick to who you are and what you know and what your belief system is. So in other words, in this new creative world of making a choice and maybe even skipping down a road that you know is right for you but doesn't actually, if there's no rules here yet, the Justice card comes in and helps you define what your boundaries are so that you don't go off the rails. So it might feel a bit constricting, but if you work with the Justice card in that, rather than looking at as it's too strict and it has to be this way, then you can use the two together to create something that works within your boundaries and not go all over. So it allows the creativity to come in, the choice to come in, without going too far over here or too far over there. And if you're making the choice of staying how you like it to be and going down that road, which is the choice of the 7, then the Justice card allows you to justify that, to say, you know what, it's okay, and my rules and the way I do things are fine, because we are affirming how we see the world, the structure of the world, and how we want to move forward within the confines and boundaries of who we are. And again, it's about owning who we are, and it's really important. It's really important to express who we are without fear or favour. And so these cards are helping strengthen that part of ourselves so that we can move forward and say, I don't have to pretend to be anything other than who I am. Okay, well, that was a big one. Let's move on now to, I've got the calendar there. All right, so Friday, May 26, 2023. Right, choosing a card. Oh, here we have, oh, I love it. Look at this, Emperor. Emperor, we have done all the hard work, people. We are so good at this. I've got to stop doing that. We are so good at this. We have chosen. We have made the decision. Look, if we're working with those energies and we think, you know what, I'm okay, I'm right, I love who I am, good, bad or ugly, I love my values, I love my beliefs, I'm going to stick with what I know, or I'm going to allow show my boundaries. As with the Justice card, you all heard that one. The Emperor says, right, let's do this. Let's put it down and build a structure and make it solid and make it strong and make it our own. So in other words, how we choose to construct the next stage, or this within this week, whatever choices we're making, the Emperor is here as the supports or the pillars. And so it's saying, right, okay, let's put that down into the ground, let's make it happen. I'm here to support that. So the Emperor is actually affirming the decision we made. So remember, the 7 was about, do we do this or do we do that? As I said, it doesn't matter. It is our life, right? So once we have done that, the Emperor is coming in to help us build it and make it super structural and supportive and make it work for us. Now just remember, even though he's here and he's making it nice and strong for us, doesn't mean to say that we're sort of stuck in that space. He's not above allowing us to make some shifts and changes. However, he does come in and remind us that that the energy is there to actually put it in the ground and make it solid and strong. You know, and if you want to change it, that's fine too. It's fine. There's no hard and fast rules. I'm saying that because sometimes the Emperor can be a little bit cranky about that. It's like it has to be this way or no way. I don't get the feeling from that card. It's more so if you want to use the energy of the Emperor to put everything in place and make it solid and strong, you can do so. If you want to go back to Monday and start from Temperance again and bring it forward, the Emperor is always in play to help structure and put it into place however we want to do that. I like that. That's a benevolent male or structural figure. So let's have a look for Saturday, May the 27th, 2023. Pull a card. Ooh. Knight of Cups. He is the romantic of the deck. All right. So the romantic of the deck, if you think about, like, we've got the Justice card putting things, like, helping us define our boundaries. We've got the Emperor turned up and said, right, let's do this. I'm here to support that. You know what? Getting a goosebumps about this. With those structures in place, it allows our mind and creativity to wander. It allows us. Remember, I said to you about the 7, as in having to make those choices about either is fine, and like even looping back and starting back again. Once we're comfy, which is what the Emperor is all about, feeling safe and secure in our decision making process, that means that the Knight of Cups can come in and go, sorry, just had a bit of a technical issue. I'm going to go on with the Knight of Cups. Put that down so I can talk. So then, as I said, the Knight of Cups now is in play so that we can just basically daydream. We can think outside the box. We can let our thoughts go all the way. We don't have to worry about, is this going to work? Is this going to fall down? Because all those structures are now in place, it anchors us to our position, and then the Knight of Cups can come in and say, we can daydream to our heart's content. We can fill up our minds with how we want to go forward. And the Knight of Cups just gives us that space. I like it. I just keep getting like this daydreaming space. There's nothing wrong with daydreaming because it allows the options to flow in and out. And while that'll happen, so allow ourselves on Saturday to be daydreaming. We might need to just be a little bit like, just be mindful. You don't have to ground yourself or anything, but just be mindful that if you are a bit drifty or daydreaming on Saturday, it's simply because we're feeling so good and supported in our place that all of that's taken off our mind. Now we can create. Now we can dream about how we'd like to be. We've got all those things in place. We can dream. So, I keep thinking about, if you're driving a car, just be mindful how daydreamy you are. But also too, if you've got lots of little thoughts popping in your head, run along with it, write it down. All I would just say about that is that be mindful that they are not concrete just yet. Just because you think about it doesn't mean say, oh my God, I've got to do this because it's so amazing. Write your ideas down. They are there for consideration, not for putting into place. The Knight of Cups is a romantic and a daydreamer. But it's perfect because that means the heart is opened up to possibilities, and the heart wants now to follow its passion. The Knight is there because the Knight takes chances. So by allowing ourselves to daydream, we can take those chances in our head without having to make any decisions. So enjoy the process. But just be mindful. Don't let your mind crowd and say, I've got to do this because it's amazing. No, this is just the area of possibilities rather than, I've got to do this because it's so amazing. Write your ideas down. That's all that I would recommend. Because if you try and put any of these in place at the moment, the Knight of Cups is still sort of up in the air a bit. It's not really grounded. But because you are safe and grounded, it gives you opportunity to let your mind wander. Me too. All right, pop that back in the deck. Let's hope the camera doesn't. Sorry. Okay. It's so windy here that the van is rocking. I've got my all of my tech. Must be very precarious. It knocked it over, so I'm being very mindful. Okay. Let's have a look for Sunday, May the 28th, 2023. Oh, woohoo! I can see it before you can see it. I'm very excited. Look at this. 8 of Wands. Okay, 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. Freedom. So, that's almost like saying, go ahead. So, every time, like I'm doing this, I'm thinking, the process is so quick this week. please be mindful that if you're still looping back and trying things out and whatever, doesn't mean to say it all has to be completed this week. It's saying, what these cards are saying is this energy is available this week and on this day. So what happens after we have our little creative moments with the Knight of Cups? Now the Eight of Wands is saying, and this is sometimes scary. The Eight of Wands says, oh, here you go, you do it. Now what happens if something is all of a sudden there's no boundaries, everything falls into place and it looks like it's actually possible? If you're like me, I have a little bit of a freak out. I guess it's like, oh my God, well, do I have to do this? I should be doing this. And the mind wants to go, no, you don't have to worry about what, just because it's free pass or a free way to go. All that means is that all the hard work that you've done has opened up the pathway. It's opened up the way forward. So in other words, if you've got a plan or a creative idea and you've allowed yourself to daydream, then all that the Eight of Wands is confirming is that now it's okay to go ahead whenever you like. There is nothing impeding that process. It still might take you 6 months to get something off the ground or to have it all worked out. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be career, it can be health, it can be money, it can be relationships. It doesn't matter. It covers all parts of our life. All it's saying is that you've done all the hard work, everything's in place, good job. Anytime you want to do it, that pathway is clear. That's all open to you now. Nothing's going to impede you. Eight of Wands, look at that. Lovely. Now the Eight, as I said, sometimes brings in a bit of, and in the Eight of Wands, the scariness is like, well, oh my God, now I can do this. I've got to do this. My friends, if you're not ready, it's okay. You don't have to do it right now, but you've got everything in place. So when you are ready, the Eight of Wands is still around. It's all the Eight of Wands are saying, hey, you can do this anytime. You've got everything ready to go. And if you're feeling a bit sort of freaked out by the freedom that you have, then that's your intuition telling you that you're not ready yet. However, everything that's led up to that has given you something to work with, and what's going to happen with your spirit and your soul and the experiences that you're going to have from then on is going to all work towards making that happen, because you know what? It's already in your heart and it's already come to the surface. Okay. Now, so my weekly roundup of the cards that have come forward for this week, it seems to me that I think that last week was a bit of an upheaval-y sort of time, bringing a lot of things to the surface to examine and see how we feel about ourselves. Moving on to that, the first couple of days is giving us a break, but it's also confirming and affirming for us, because there's a bit of distance and objectiveness there, is that, you know what, this is important, this is not important. And so Monday, Tuesday gives us that time to discern and allow the mind to rest and allow the mind to, I think, give ourselves a bit of a pat on the back that, you know what, I'm not going to buy into that anymore. I'm actually affirming that we're free and easy. Oh, yeah, we're all freed up there. So that then allows that the Seven of Pentacles to come in and say, right, you accepted that, let's go. Well, how do you want to go now? Do you want to go down the way that you used to go, or do you want to go something a little bit different, which is more in alignment with how you think and feel? And as I said, both ways are valid. Now, again, your intuition is saying, oh, I'm not really sure, I understand all of that, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still happy to stay here until I feel a bit better. Valid. If I say, oh yeah, I want to try something different because I really love this, I want to do this, also valid. So then comes the Justice card to confirm or affirm our decisions, because the Justice card turns up to say, is that really what you want? Is that really? Do you? So it's a bit of a poke, do you? So that the Justice card will say, how committed are you to this? How committed are you to this decision? And so it just rumbles a little bit and helps us to examine our values and beliefs and how we actually feel about it, and the probably the motivation behind it as well. It brings in the black and white, it brings in the boundaries, and it challenges our view of ourselves and the world. And so again, we might want to go back and start Okay, well, actually, what do I want to do? And the Justice card helps us shift and adjust those things. Well, once the Justice card is satisfied, it moves on to the Emperor. Emperor says, right, let's go. Let's put that into place. Let's lock it in, as in, let's give it some sort of support and structure, but anchoring it into some sort of reality. And again, if that makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, again, you start the process. Go back to the Temperance card and start. So this is a process or a procedure to help us, you and myself, work out exactly what it is that we want and have. We're given the time to work it out. We're given so much time and support this week that it's pretty amazing. So that Justice card, the Emperor card then moves on to the Knight of Cups. It says, oh, now we're free, we're anchored, we're secure, we got everything sorted. We haven't got anything started yet, but that's why he's there. The Knight of Cups is to dare to dream, just do it. And then write all that down. He's not great for actually putting things into place, but he's great for dreaming it. So don't freak yourself out thinking, I've got to do this because I thought of it. No, just write it down. And then the last card, of course, is, well, you've got the freedom now. The pathway is clear. You have given yourself this gift of creativity and freedom, and the belief in yourself and aligning yourself with your values, the way forward. Again, don't freak out. The 8 can be a freak out space because it's like, oh my God, what do I do? It's like we all of a sudden take personal responsibility. It's fine. The energy is there for you to take advantage of it whenever you like, whether it's now or 6 months' time, it doesn't matter. It's a confirmation that you've worked it out. Okay, so that's the weekly forecast for week commencing May 22nd, 2023. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Have a great week. And as usual, Wednesday and Friday will be Soul Life or Soul Purpose Coaching Day, using Soul Life. And then Friday is Healing Day to round up the week based on the weekly forecast. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Much love from me. See you next week. Bye. See you guys next week with love from me. Mwah.